All right, welcome back, everybody. This is M-Dog, and when I'm not playing RF4, lately I've been playing a little Fishing Sim World Pro Tour and having a lot of fun in the career mode. Um, it's been a very chill but sort of exciting kind of thing to do. So I thought I would start at least while I'm still playing this, making a few videos here on the career mode. So we're actually halfway through the amateur career season, and right now, as you see, I'm only doing carp, and we are ranked sixth out of, I don't know, what does it go to, like 100, I think. Yeah, 6 out of 100 right now. So we've had some good fortune. Have won a couple events, have did poorly in one event. It's kind of weird because I've never fished at any of these places. So the next event on the calendar happens to be the Linear Open here at Manor Farm, and so we're going to start events shortly. But I do want to at least they let you practice event. I'm not going to actually do much fishing, or probably won't really do any fishing. I want to find a spot because kind of since I don't know these places very well. What I have found is, first of all, just visually looking. So we're going to start down here in the bottom left-hand side. I just kind of like to see what different parts of the lake looks like. And honestly, it looks like on this one, we're going to just pretty much I bet the carp are pretty much just in the middle of the lake. Let's see what this spot would look like. This peg here. And so the other thing that I want to find out is if we do, let's say we just kind of aim towards that hanging tree over there. If we do a nice long cast, let's do about 60% and see where that goes. Okay, 68%. I want to see what the bottom is like. See what kind of bottom we're going to be fishing on. All right, so we've got weeds there. And then we go to gravel. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of gravel. Okay, that's cool. So we got a gravel bed. I think that's what we'll do. We'll plan on fishing on that gravel bed. Okay, I just wanted to have a plan. Now we have a plan. Let's start the event. I mean, it's just our first season in our career. We'll get better. We may not get first place in the first season, but we will get better. Let's go ahead and start the event. Okay, so let's look at tackle box actually before we start. So we're going in our carp box here. And this is our setup here. Let me can you see that? All three of the rods are the same. Okay, I'm using 3 of the Sonic Vader X 13-foot carp rods. So I know that my camera is blocking the top 2, but all 3 of them are the same. We're using the same 3 reels. The Sonic Vader X reel, we've got 3 of those. 80-pound braid, and this is what I wanted to look at. First of all, baits, we're going to be using Essential Cell and Link, but for our first rod, I think what I want to have set up is Monster Red. And all of our hooks should be on gravel, right? So let's do a number 2 hook with Monster Red. Okay, I think I'm going to switch this around. Let's do a 2 hook and then a 4, which is what we have on that one. And then I want to do a 6. All right, let me read about the difference in the blowback versus the crank rig. Looks like blowback's a little more versatile. Crank's a little more specific for carp. Blowback can also be used for catfish, it says. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock the crank rig size 6. Select that. So now I've got a 2, 4, and 6. Now what I want to change, though, is I want to change this up. I want to have Monster Red on our smallest 18 millimeter Monster Red, which means we're going to put Link on our biggest. Keep going past Boily. So Link is on our biggest. So we've got Link, Essential Cell, Monster Red. Okay, and then we've got some spod mix we'll use. That's our tackle box. Let's go get started. Let's start the event. And this is the location we want to start at. Here at
You join us here on the water today as the competitors are getting ready for the start of this exciting event. While we wait for the action to begin, let's take a look at the rules for today's tournament.
Okay, we've got a sponsorship, and after this event, we're up to renew our sponsorship, and we're actually, I think, going to qualify for a slightly better sponsor, because that's like a bass fishing sponsor. That's not even what we want to use. But we're going to have total weight of carp is what we're going for here in this tournament. We're currently in 6th place for the season for the carp series, and let's get going. And there's no telling, this spot we're choosing, it may not be a good spot, but I just like having a strategy. Let's stick to the strategy, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I think if we can get pretty close to 50, we'll land right on that gravel bed. At least that's what I'm hoping. Because we need to sort of have an idea. Yeah, 50 is perfect. Okay, so there's rod 1. And because we're going to use the spod, I actually do want to put... How did I just get 50 twice in a row? That's crazy. I actually want to get these pretty close together. I'm going to pull this one in just a little bit, though, so I can see it. There we go. I just want to make sure it was, in fact, on the bed. All right, let's just go slightly off. Okay, now we have to reel this one back in. I bet it'll be past the gravel bed. Oh, that's actually not bad. All right, there we go. So it's close to 50 now, I think. And the last thing we want to do is go ahead and spot the area, and then let's hope we start seeing fish appear. All right, now this is where it gets tricky. Ooh, I went too slow. I mean, too close. Hey, let's cancel that. I forgot you can cancel your cast. Same thing. There we go, perfect. So that should be fairly close. And all you want to do in this game when you spot it is you just want to let it sit there for a few seconds. Even though we've got a fish on, I'm going to give it a second here. I think it takes, I don't know, a few seconds, and all that stuff out of the spot will be done spreading out. We're going to say that's good enough. And let's start reeling this puppy in. So we've got big line on, so we're going to go ahead and get aggressive here on our drag. Let's get up to 44. Now the key here I found from looking some stuff up and then trying it myself is we want to hold our rod high, and we only want to reel in when that thing is down in the like turquoise color. In other words, when it gets up in the red, we want to stop reeling, because the fish gets tired when the strain is up in the red. And if you're still reeling, oh, we must be on a good spot, y'all. We've got fish on all 3. So we're not going to catch all 3 of these fish, I don't think. If they're all carp, it's going to take a while to get them in. And so it's very likely we will not get them all in. But since it's a tournament, I don't want to risk letting this one get off by trying to get tricky with the other ones. So we're just going to try to get this one in, and then hopefully one of the other 2 will still be on. You can see first place in the tournament already has up to 37 pounds, so they caught a really nice first carp. But we might match him here. All right, we got him. We got him. All right, let's see what this is. Very nice carp. I don't think that's going to quite be 37 pounds, though. 24 pounds. Okay. So let's go ahead and get the link one, because that one, we know that link is our number 1 rod. It's got the biggest hook. And so I'm going to say there's the best chance that this is the bigger of the 2 fish. We're already in 3rd place if we can land this guy and it's a carp, then we should either be in first place or close to it, and then we'll get our rods back out. He looks a little smaller to me, but as long as it's a carp. That's not a bream or something weird, is it? He's got a little fight in him, whatever he is. Sometimes, like, I still don't have the visuals down in this game. Sometimes I think it's a carp and it's like not a carp. You know, it's like a tench or something, like a really big tench. Or the bream even look a little carp-like in this game I found. But this looks like a common carp to me. Yeah, it's just a common carp, but it's a small to medium-sized one. That one's a 21-pound common carp. All right, that third line, or that, yeah, the monster red still has a fish on it. It's way across the lake, though. See if we can get this guy in, too. So we're now in first place, but not by much. Neither one of our fish were as big as some of the other leaders' fish. Alright, let's increase drag to 45 and see if it doesn't get too high. Yeah, I think we're good. He's a long way away, but hopefully he's getting tired as long as he's been on there. Melissa Robinson's in second place. She's caught her second fish now. And Isaac's still hanging in there in third place, but he still has his first. So if Isaac catches a second fish, he's going to jump up. So I'm not getting a good read on this fish. It's like coming straight in now. And again, it may have just gotten tired, or it may just be a different species or just a real small fish. This was on the smallest of the three hooks. But it does look like a carp, I think. Okay, it's diving down a little bit. As soon as you get it close, the way this game seems like it's like programmed or whatever, no matter what, as soon as you get it close, it's going to have a little bit of fight, it seems like. And the bigger the fish, the longer this can go on. It's not as small as I thought it first was. So that might be our... I don't know if it's as big as the first one, but it's close. Oh yeah, 33 pounds. Beautiful. Okay, so now we just need to get all of them back out there. We're well in first place now. It won't necessarily last, though, if we don't stay on top of it. Hank just jumped up. Hank Mervin's catching us a little bit. We're going to cast these out in reverse order. I'm just going to reset that cast instead of dragging it that far. That's fine. 48 will do the trick, I think. I can't see it, though. There we go. Okay. And then when you put the link out. So I like to have my biggest hook on the top one, and then the second biggest hook, second one, third biggest hook, third one. And once I really get to know a place, if I'm confident that I can catch big fish on the biggest hooks, then, you know, I'll use all big hooks. But because it's the first time I'm fishing here, I feel like that having different size hooks is a little safer to make sure we are catching something. We're gonna go ahead and spot it again. We've only got 11 minutes left in this tournament. So hopefully that's close enough to at least spot some of them. 2, 3. Okay, this is the smallest of the hooks. Remember, this is the 6. Let's go ahead and get our rod up. Start wearing the fish down. I'm not reeling. My hand's moving just because the fish is sort of pulling line a little bit. Now we're reeling. This isn't a very big fish. If I get a look at this and it looks really small, or if I'm questioning whether it's a carp, I may switch off to the other one, because the other one that's on is our number one, so we know it's big. What do y'all think? We've got it so close now. Let's just catch it. We'll just take a chance. I've got the drag really high. I don't usually fish with the drag that high. I'm not sure what that is, to be honest with you. It looks like a carp. It's a bream. 12-pound bream. Okay. All right, let's get that link in. So that was the smallest hook we have. This is the largest hook we have. Let's drop that drag down a little bit just till we get a feel for what kind of this fish is. Now we've got another one on. So you see our total weight didn't go up because bream don't count. It's got to be carp. This is a carp tournament. You know, I had played this game back when it first came out, but primarily all I did was bass fishing. I'm having a lot more fun with it now that I'm doing this career mode and doing the carp, and so you can even do like offline one-off tournaments and stuff. All that's been a lot more fun for me. It's made me a little bit more interested in the new one they're coming out with this summer. The Catch, Carp, and Course, or whatever it's called. Hopefully it'll have some fun game modes like this in it, and I hope that they make some other improvements. At least from the trailer so far, I'm thinking they might have a new engine, but I haven't followed it that closely, so I don't know. But I'll be curious enough, I'll at least probably try it. Come on, let's get this in so we can check out this other fish too. That is definitely a carp. £29-pound mirror carp. You see, you level up pretty quick. I mean, we're about to hit level 31. The only way you can unlock new gear and new baits, equipment, and all that is by spending tackle points in this game. If you're not familiar with this game, it's got this tackle points system. And there's a lot of stuff I haven't unlocked yet. So the only way to make tackle points is either by participating in the tournaments, where some of those you actually have to risk tackle points. So like, let's say the entry fee might be 1,000 tackle points, but if you win, you're going to get 10,000 or whatever. You know, it's kind of like that. So that's one way to get tackle points. The other way is every time you gain a level, you get 1,000 tackle points. And I think you get like 5,000 when you hit every 10 levels. So you eventually can kind of unlock everything. But the way it works, because you're spending tackle points, not technically money, is like it might cost 1,000 tackle points to unlock a certain boilie that I want to use. Oh, we're so close to leveling. But once I unlock that boilie, I can use it as much as I want. Let's pick up our number one rod since it's the big one, and let's get it out first. Well, we just kind of got lucky here. We have found a really good spot to fish. I've kind of noticed from some of my other experiences that if you can find a nice gravel bed or somewhere to fish that, and then spot the water around it, that's a good way to start. Once you know a place and you know different spots, you might not want to put your rods all together, but this has been working pretty well for me. Wow, already a bite. I think I'm going to not even put this one in, and let's just see if we can't catch this fish. It is cool. You can choose the gear that your person's wearing, and there's a lot of unlocks in terms of different gear you can wear. Color, you choose the colors. You choose whether you have a hat on or not, glasses. So it's got some customization stuff that I kind of think is cool. But it's not... The game is definitely more on the spectrum of sort of an arcadey feel, and I don't necessarily just mean that in a negative way, but you know, when you play something like RF4 or Russian Fishing 4, which I think a lot of the people that will watch this will be folks that are following my channel for all the RF4 content I do. RF4 feels like a really deep fishing simulation that has qualities that you might find in something like a massive multiplayer game, like an MMO. Of course, this doesn't have that feel, even though this does have an online component. You can play with other people. You can, you know, do online tournaments. I mean, it's got multiplayer facets, but it doesn't have the, like, same depth. You know, there's no crafting. It's just not a good comparison. And if you've played a lot of different fishing games, you kind of know what I mean. There aren't many games that even try to be the type of game that RF4 is. I mean, I think you could argue that Fishing Planet does to a degree, but even that's not the same scope. There we go. So we hit level 31. We got 1,000 tackle points to spend on new baits. And once we finish this competition, which we are now, goodness, if this is another carp, we're going to have 3 times the weight of the next best person, which I'm telling you, I have not always done this well. I think the third event, like I won the first 2 events, and then the third event, I just couldn't catch. I mean, I was in, I think I finished that one in 7th or 8th place. Oh no, it was lower than that, because it total sunk my ratings. I went from being first place in the carp season to, I think my rating went down to 6th or 7th place maybe, because I placed way down the list on that one competition. So, and this is just the amateur ranks. I'm pretty sure it's going to get harder as I move up in professional and then elite rankings in terms of the division I'm in. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it is. It's fun. It's just it's a cool little experience. And my impression of the game has favored. Although I will say it would be a weird time to get into this game, which that's what I'm doing, and I'm getting into this game at a weird time because Dovetail, the developers, as far as I know, they're no longer supporting this game. There's a ton of content, so if you've never played it, I mean, there's a lot of content here, but because they're coming out with this new game this summer, I think that future development will go towards that game as far as I know. I could be wrong. They might keep doing stuff with this one, but that's what I would assume. Okay, so another common carp, a 31 pounder. And once again, let's get Link in. So we don't have much time, and so let's try something a little different. Let's cast, like close to 25%. See what the bottom is like. I mean, there's no question we're winning this. Let's see if we can't get a one of these to bite on a much closer cast. That gravel bed, as I saw when we were doing the practice event and just kind of coming here and seeing the gravel bed almost came all the way to where we're standing. So it's a big old gravelly area. And we won't even spot it. We'll just sit here and see if we get another bite here. Yep, we are. So this whole area seems good. Right in the middle of the lake. With 1:37, and this went into red immediately. I'm not sure we'll get this fish in before the time is over. But I will try. I think in a competition, because you can't be as patient as you might normally be, I think it does make sense to have the variety in the size hooks you're using. They do have named carp in this game, so, you know, if you can be patient, you might put the biggest size carp hooks you can, and really go for those boss fish. But in a tournament, you've only got a few minutes. You got to start getting that weight going, so every fish doesn't have to be the biggest one in the lake to win the competition. There's 30 seconds. I think we'll get it in, unless it just keeps fighting forever. It should be getting pretty tired. We've got the drag up pretty high. There's another fish on. We'll never get that one in. All right, we got it in. Another common, it looks like. Well, we have found the common. 31-pound common. Wow. We have put in a lot of weight here. 2 seconds. 1 second. Okay. So we had one bream. The rest were either mirror carp or common carp. And so it shows the check mark on which ones actually count. And we did come in first place by a long, big margin. Okay. So let me show you just real quick how the tackle points work. So we're still in 6th place. You know, because we did so poorly in that one event, we have just been clawing our way. We're now only 1 point behind Fletcher Marsh. So arguably, we'll pass Fletcher soon, maybe Joseph Hawks as well. But for us to get a top 3 finish, I think there's only 2 events left. So we may not be able to do that. But let's look at a couple things before I wrap this up. There's the Catch Carping course. That's the new game that's coming out. First of all, event calendar. Okay, there are 3 events left. You know, so maybe there's a chance, like if we were to win 2 out of 3 and top 3 in another one, like maybe we get into the top 3 for the season. I don't know. Sponsors. So for Carp, our sponsorship ran out because you only have the sponsorship for so many events. So now we can do Hacho, instead of Bait Shack, which I'm pretty excited about. They actually don't pay as much, though. Oh, maybe they pay more the more you make them happy. I just think this one's going to look cooler. You know what we can do? So we've got 5 events left. What we could do is we could still have this as a secondary sponsor. We'll do that. It'll make us more money, which will get us more notoriety. Okay. Okay, so what was the other thing I wanted to show you real quick before we leave? We're currently in 6th place. So real quick, I wanted to show you the how your tackle box works. Okay, so here's a tackle box we're using. Right now, it doesn't really say how many tackle points we have on that screen. I'm sure it will somewhere, though. All right, so let's say we wanted to get a new boilie, right? We don't have tuna match boilies. Well, those cost 600 tackle points. We currently have 20,850. So it seems like we have a lot, but before I started like getting some carp gear together, we had, back from when I was doing bass fishing and from having the deluxe edition, I think I had like 80,000 tackle points. So I used a ton to get all this carp stuff together, but I knew that's what I wanted to do. Some of the baits like do cost 1,000. A lot of them do, actually, just depending on what section you're in. And then let's say, you know, we want to get a new silt hook. Okay, we want to try the Corda whatever rig, size 4, 1,600 tackle points. But again, once you unlock that hook, you can always use it. It's always a part of your stuff. Same with the line. Line is expensive. Like, I think this line might have even been 10,000 tackle points. This is the heaviest braid in the game. It's really meant for going for the big carp and catfish. But, you know, you can get all kinds of different lines. It looks like we unlocked the most expensive kind, but there's still stuff that costs like 8,000, 50-pound black braid. So anyway, it's pretty cool. Gear, the most expensive gear is going to be around 5,000. for the reels, 5,000 tackle points. So it's not super punitive. Let's see, if we wanted to get like one of the high-end carp reels, which is what we have, they cost about 9,000 tackle points. But the one we have is at least equal to this one. I think ours did cost 9,000. If you wanted to go with a bait caster, the nicest bait caster is only 5,500. Again, there is bass fishing, predator fishing. There's a lot of different types of fishing in this. But I'm really enjoying the carp fishing. Okay. I think that's enough. I may do some more videos. Like, I'm really enjoying the career thing. So, like, it's nice little 15, 20-minute snippets. So it's kind of nice to put a video up here and there. I've been playing it a good bit the last couple days, again, when I'm not playing RF4. So it's a pretty easy thing to put it up. So I might do that some just to show some carp spots and see what we can learn. Hey, as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.